to preparing for your interview with us at AdventureEXP. So excited to have you here. Interviewing is such an important part of our program and your future life and your future career and your future career goals, that we find it really important to cover the topic on how to prepare for your interview successfully, so you feel like you are confident, you are ready, you are prepared, you have done the work to get ready for this interview and enter and walk in with your head up high and a smile on and ready to present yourself. Because really an interview is a two-way street. You're presenting yourself just like the business and job that you're interested in is presenting to you. So we want to give you some tips, some tricks, some tools to help you prepare the best. Because the more you interview, the more experience you do get. And it is always important to always interview with a position that you have an option to interview with, because every interview is a learning experience and we treat it as such. Now we're going to talk a little bit about when you are researching. That's the first thing you're going to do starting with interview prep. We want you to dive into Googling the company you're interviewing with and the interviewer. A little bonus point is searching for the interviewer or the company on LinkedIn. There's a search feature now that other people can see you looking at their LinkedIn profiles, so they can show that you're serious by looking them up by name, the HR contact or the hiring manager, whoever's on your email chain. Looking them up on LinkedIn and showing that you are really taking them seriously, taking the employment organization seriously, the business seriously, by reading up on them. Whether that's on LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, a lot of businesses show up on social media in that way. And that also helps you know more about the company and shows your genuine interest for joining the company and why you want to join the company. Following the organization on the social media sites is a great way to show that interest as well. And reading the job description again to prepare is always helpful. Knowing why you're interested in that position with that specific company is incredibly helpful, because your why is really what's going to motivate them to hear more about your interest. You always can work with us at AdventureEXP to help you prepare, whether you want to talk about what questions to ask, whether you want to talk about in the future what options are there, whatever you have on your mind when reading the job description and knowing why this position is something you're interested in. AdventureEXP is here to help you, so we want to give you those tools and resources to make sure you feel prepared. Now, when it comes to a mock interview, we really recommend that, especially if you are not so experienced with interviewing. Grab a family member, a friend, somebody you feel really comfortable with in your support system, and have them ask you questions so you can think about how you would answer those questions to best show your qualities and skill sets. Always be honest and open with your answers. Make great eye contact. Smile. Have fun. This interview is to show your personality and show who you would be as a worker at their business. And remember to show why you want to be considered for the job and why you would be the best candidate for the job. What skills, what qualities do you bring into the job is really important, and how that applies to the position or business. If you've never worked in hospitality or tourism, but you've been a lifeguard, you still know how to work with people. You know how to deal with customers. You know how to speak to customers. And that skill is applicable in various career paths. And so you can take that skill and mold it and speak upon it during your interview, that you do know how to work with people because you have that skill set. When talking about popular interview questions, a lot of the times you're going to see these types of questions, and we'll go through them. Tell us about yourself. What are your strengths and weaknesses? What about this position interests you? What would your boss and colleagues say about you? Where do you see yourself in 5 years? Why should we hire you? Tell me about a challenge or conflict you faced at work and how you've dealt with it. Think about these answers when you're doing your mock interview, or if you're a popular interviewer where you interview with a lot of different companies before. Think about tailoring those answers to that specific job you're interviewing for. Use the job description to help you identify what you want to say. Now, the interviewer wants to hear your experience and your story, and that's incredibly important in this topic, is that you want to talk about what you've done and how that applies to the position. During virtual interviews, since they are becoming so popular these days, we wanted to cover this topic a little bit more. You're going to want to join the meeting link a few minutes before so the interviewer can see that you're there and already ready. Another great foot forward showing that you are eager and ready to interview is getting there a few minutes early. I highly recommend that tip. Always be mindful of your background, where you are, what's going on, like no dogs barking, no family members walking behind you in the background. Be mindful in a simple, quiet room where you can think, the interviewer can think, and you two can talk it out and collaborate and learn more about each other. It's always important to dress to impress. It's very important that you are wearing something when virtually in mindfulness. To wear a top and your face are the only things that you're going to see. So be mindful of that. The pants don't matter as much when you're on virtual interviewing. So a collared shirt, a blazer, something very simple but also professional is incredibly important. And it's always best to be overdressed than underdressed. Now we're going to talk a little bit about preparing questions, because interviewing is a two-way street. And what we mean by that is the business is interviewing you for that position just as much as you are interviewing them. Make sure you're asking questions that gather the information you need to make the best decision for you for that position as well. You may decide that that job is not the best fit for you based on the answers that the business says back to you. And that is okay. You want to be understanding that this is a two-way street and understand that you want to find the best fit for yourself. Some examples of what to ask. Are you wondering something specific that wasn't written in the job description? Or do you want to know what a normal day on the job is? Do you want to know about training? Embrace curiosity when asking questions. Read over the job description, and if there's something that's not there that you want to know more about, ask. They may not always be able to tell you exactly what you're looking for, but they can give you some reference. Like, hey, what would my schedule be like? Well, some jobs have very specific schedules and some jobs don't. So that's something that you would want to consider when making those decisions. Remember the details, because details matter. That's what we want to cover in this section today. Be comfortable talking about what's listed through your resume, because it is your story. Your resume is your story on a piece of paper. So being comfortable talking about your experiences, talking about your skill set, talking about when and where you worked is incredibly important. And you can always take notes. Every interview, you can bring a notepad and pen, write down what they're saying, write down questions that you may have that come up that you don't think are appropriate to ask right then and there. Always do that, because you are interviewing them just as much as they're interviewing you. And a smile goes a long way. Showing your personality goes a long way. They want to see who you are and how you're going to work in their business and their culture. We do recommend joining the link 1 to 2 minutes early to be ready on time. And if you're doing a virtual interview, just another reminder to make sure you are in a quiet environment and test your audio and video quality, because the technology matters. And we want to show you some examples of how to dress the part. It definitely doesn't need to be expensive. It definitely doesn't need to be extravagant. Simple collared shirt, button-down shirt, blazer. That is what you're mostly going to have over a virtual interview. If you're ever interviewing in the future in person, we recommend simple pants, khakis, definitely not jeans. You want to dress the part and show that you are serious about this position. At the end of the interview, you want to always end positively. It's incredibly important. Thank the interviewer for spending time with you today. And with AdventureEXP, you do not expect a job offer right away. AdventureEXP gives employers roughly 48 hours to decide if they want to bring you on their team. Again, that two-way street thing that we've been talking about. The sentiment has been there this whole time. If you do get a job offer during the interview, say thank you so much for the opportunity. I want to think about it and talk with AdventureEXP, and then we'll get back to you. Always smile, always have a great attitude, because that is how you end positively on your interview. Now, if you're nervous about preparing for an interview, I totally get you. It is incredibly popular to be nervous for your interview. We get it. I want to encourage you to know that nerves mean you care, and nerves are understandably there. And so preparing helps you do well. Preparing helps you feel more confident. Preparing helps you understand what goals you have when applying for this position and what interests you have with this position. We hope that this module helped you today, and we hope that you feel more prepared going into your interview. As always with us at AdventureEXP, please reach out to us if you have any questions, or if we can help you in any way be more successful at interviewing and feeling more prepared, because that is our main goal here, is to help you find the best fit for you. Have a great day.